All right, welcome everybody to our Wednesday, February 25th, Velocity Bank Network Community Meeting. We do these Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and we welcome everybody to come and learn how our community works. I'm going to go through a presentation and I will get into some details. This is a training presentation. It's not really what I would use necessarily if it was for somebody who you just wanted to pique their interest. And we will have a smaller presentation that we've been working on that should be ready to go tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, I think, is what we were looking at. So that being said, let's get started. My disclaimer, the presentation is for informational and educational purposes only, does not constitute financial investment, legal, or tax advice. The Velocity Bank Network is a community rewards platform with coded program rules, including protocol-based routing of certain reward events to the community. Participation is voluntary and involves digital asset activity, including USDT deposits and transfers, which carry risks. There's no guarantees being made regarding results, timing, or the frequency of reward events. Past activity does not predict future outcomes. You are responsible for your own decision and can consult with your own qualified professionals if you have additional questions. So, a little bit about our community. We are building what I like to call a sustainable ecosystem. It's a protocol that is positive for everybody that's part of our community, no matter what walk of life somebody comes from. We've got the ability for everybody to be part of what we're doing. It is participant driven in terms of how we create the growth. And as I go through and share this, every contribution directly fuels and benefits the collective. You'll see that as we go through the presentation. We are AI powered and building out a smart contract to put the two of those together so that we have it on full automation as soon as we are through what we're calling right now our first 90 to 120 days. We're about a week in now, and everything is flowing. It's not as simple as a lot of people think. It's a little bit complicated what we're doing in the background, but at the end of the day, it's working. People are excited, and the community is growing on a daily basis. So, our core architecture is built on when you come in, you'll come in a capacity of feeder line. If you are in an economic situation where you only have $100, you can come in that line, and then our community-based protocol will bring you in to our velocity line, which is our second place that you go, and they will cover the other $1,000. So it's $1,100 that we work with. You see when I go through the presentation why it is, and it's all in USDT. Everything we do is digital. Okay, we're not dealing in fiat currency. We're dealing in digital, but you'll be able to convert it back to fiat after being in what we call our perpetual 2-to-1 trio system. And everything we do is based on a cycle that is 28 days with mini cycles that Monday to Friday produce rewards for the community. So let's get into how this works for you on a day-to-day basis. So what we have is a feeder line and we have a velocity line. So the feeder line is where everybody goes that comes in with $100. The velocity line, everybody goes that comes in with the full $1,100. So every morning at 8:59, our system looks to see what we have happening to move people into the chain. And then it's going to go through a process. So we always bring 15 pairs in. This is built on two. Think it's always built on twos. So 15 pairs come in, that's 30, which means we're going to move 30 people out of the velocity line from the 100 active spots that are in the velocity line. But then what we're going to do is we're also going to move 30 from the velocity overflow. So we always keep 100 active in our line. So that will get replaced. And the same thing happens with our feeder line. 30 of those are going to come over to the velocity overflow. And then 30 from the overflow there are going to go there. The importance of this is we've created a predictable engine, and it's very important that we know those numbers. But at the same time, we don't want the growth to stop on any given day. That's why you go into the overflow if we have more than 100 active, and currently we have more than 100 active in both those lines. So there's three link types. So if you come through the feeder link, right, that's going to give you 4 rewards during that 28-day cycle once you get into the chain. Okay. 3 of those will go to your wallet for you to basically turn that $100 into, at that point, 3,000 during that cycle, right? And all in USDT. And then you can move it at that point, those rewards, over to a MasterCard, and that you can use it on just like you would use any funds that you have. Now, the one extra that we do, this is how we create the momentum that we need with our links. So we call it stacking. So now we're teaching you how to stack throughout this presentation as I go through, right? So you came in as a feeder link, you have this forever. You're always going to have your feeder link. You're always going to get those 3 rewards that will recharge every 28 days. Now, let's say you come in as a direct link, you're going to get 6 with 2 of those instant links that are going to teach you how to stack. And if you come in immediately as a connector, which is where everybody ends up eventually, that connector means you brought 2 people with you. So that means for you, you came in to get the maximum rewards right out of the gate, which is going to give you 9 with 3 of those instant links. So think of what I just shared with you and how this works is you have a parent link. So when you come over from the velocity line, you're going to go into the chain as a child to a parent link. So you're going to go be connected to that parent link. What that's going to do is that's going to now put you in the engine that goes every day. 1,000 of that is always going to be used, okay, to re-enter you in the next mini cycle, right? So you're going to hold that until after our 8:59, and then it's automatically going to go to the parent link again every day. Same parent link. You're always going to the same. Now, the other 1,000 that you got from the 2 child links that you had that sent it up to you, some you're going to use for your instant links, and some you're going to use for rewards based on what your situation is and how you came in, whether you came in as a feeder, a direct, or a connector. Now, the cycle reward distribution is pretty simple, right? You got your wallet rewards, then you got your instant links, instant velocity line links, which means when those come up, which you'll see later in the training, when those come up, what you're going to do is nothing, but automatically they will fall into the velocity line, where at that point, that's when you have some options. At that point, if you have been out talking to people about what we're doing and you got 2 people that you have brought in, it will immediately start a whole nother link that's going to give you the full rewards regardless of how you came in the first time, right? So if you were not a connector the first time, now you're going to get those 9 rewards plus the 3 that give you 3 more instant links. And these continue to happen each and every 28-day cycle. Now, our protocol rewards, that's what helps us to make sure that our 80-20 rule, which is right now, if you understood when I said the two child have to set it up, 80% come in by themselves. They don't bring anybody with them, or they come in through the feeder program. So when they come in, they don't have those two rewards, but we built the protocol in to move them through the system. One time exception, whether you came from the feeder or whether you came from the direct line, you get that one time exception where you don't need your two. But every instant link from then on in, you'll have to tie two to them. So here's how the instant velocity link works for you. When that first day, you have one available. You'll see later in the training how those actually work. But if you have one, it's going to go into the velocity line overflow right out of the gate. It's going to sit there until you have two pairs or a pair ready to go. So you're going to two, so you can pre-plan and start bringing those people in ahead of time, as many people do, but they're going to count for you to move that second link into the system immediately. Now, if you don't have your two, no worries. You just sit there in pending until you get two. You can use your rewards to go to the feeder line. That's why we have the feeder line, right? You can go there and get your two from there by paying it forward to them using rewards that you've already made, or you can bring those two in from two people that you know, whether it's family, whether it's a friend, whatever it is. That's how simple what we do is. Now, how we keep this sustainable is all about the protocol that we put in place. So it's always a trio when you think about it, right? Two children sending up to the parent. The parent above, right? They're going to send up as one of the two for someone above them. So you never need any external capital after the first time, after you come in the first time. So whether the sustainability protocol took care of your $1,000 or another person paid it forward, or whether you came in, that's the one time that you're going to need to do that, unless you are someone who says, hey, I want to move faster and stack more rewards. And when I go over the stacking of rewards, you'll be like, oh my gosh. So it's self-funding. You re-enter every day, Monday to Friday. Now, how does the reward pattern work out? So once you're in the link, the chain, with your whoever you got paired with that day, once you're in, at that point, you're going to get paired with a parent. And what will end up happening is your cycle will get started after you get paired with a parent. So if you were a feeder on your 5th, your 10th, and your 20th, those are the ones that are going to go to your wallet. Okay. Now, it's a 28-day cycle, right? We don't do rewards on the weekend. That's why it's 28 days. Monday to Friday is when we do the rewards. But when you get that 15th, that opens that new link up. So now you got the one that you already have that you came in as a feeder. Now you have this one here. Now you have two options, right? If you have two people that you've already identified, family, friends, colleagues, and you say, hey, and they've already come in with their $1,100, then what will happen is you will automatically start through the velocity line overflow, working your way into the velocity line, and then obviously back into the chain. So if you don't have your two, you can go in the feeder line and grab two people out. It'll be the next two on the day that you do it by putting two of your rewards back in. Because think about it. Now what's happening is you're now going to be considered a connector, right? So when you're a connector, you're getting the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 8th, the 9th, the 13th, 14th, 18th, and 19th, and your 10th, your 15th, and your 20th are going to create you 3 more links. So giving up these couple of rewards here because you weren't able to find people that have $1,100 for whatever reason, you're going to get them back here, but you're also going to keep these forever. So your seniority in wherever you're at, that stays forever and will always give you these same rewards. So using some rewards to continue building and stacking the rewards is worth it for anybody that's part of the program. So direct links work very similar to the feeder, right? Instead of just getting 3 rewards, you're getting the 6, 4, 5, 9, 10, 14, 19, but then you get 2 that start your stacking process. And obviously, if you came in as a connector, right out of the gate, you're getting 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 19. But you don't have to wait until you get all these rewards. As long as you have those 2 people ready to go, when you get that 10th reward, you can get right back in line. When you get the 15th, right back in line. And then when you get your last one, the 20th, right back in line. And you always keep what you've already accumulated, because every 28 days, every link starts over. It never expires. That's what's cool about how our stacking and multiplying works. Now, let's talk about the most complicated part of what we do, which you don't have to worry about anything. It all happens at 8:59 a.m. And the goal is as quickly as possible, which is why we're building the smart contract and we're building some other automation, to have it so that the rewards are ready to go out to the people in that day. Now, what will happen first is we'll update all the member status, whatever might have changed for you, because if you came in, right, and you brought 2 people with you right away and you want to be the connector, right, we're going to change you from just a direct line to a connector, because in that same 24-hour period, when you first came in, you brought 2 people with you. So we're going to move that status. We're going to give you that status so that you're getting the maximum rewards every day. We process all those registration deposits to make sure they're attached to people, because if you saw, the way it works is there's $1,000 that attaches to the 2 children going up to the parent. If we don't have that $1,000 available, the link's broken and the system doesn't work. So all this has to happen. We process everything that I showed you, from the feeder line going through all the people moving through. Then we go into our systems operation and flow, and that's where we're pairing up those 15 to get them onto the chain so that they can start earning rewards, right? We got to refill all the feeder lines. Then we have to run the 28-day cycle script, and then that executes the Trio engine, which creates all of the rewards. And then we're opening up our next mini cycles, which is super important, because this way here, hey, I'm expecting another reward on whatever the next day of your reward will be. So all that happens in the background. You don't ever have to worry about it. But we want you to understand how it works, so that when you do get those rewards, you don't need to ask questions in between. You're just going to know, hey, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I don't have to do anything other than get ready with 2 more links for the next reward that I'm going to be stacking. And just a side note on that. So let's just say, for whatever reason, you have 3, 4, 5 sitting in the overflow, because you haven't tied 2 people to them. They never expire. So, or two new links to it, they never expire. So when you're ready to do it, you can add those back in. And because we have the protocol that we put in place, that allows us to understand that not everybody is going to stack as quickly as we need to, so that we're always keeping those lines full. So if you fall in that, don't worry. Our protocol is built so that for the people that do fall behind and don't, either they use the rewards for something else, whatever it is, and they just can't get there too, we've already identified that that's going to happen, so it will not break any links in the chain. Now, Let's talk about how we stack and the multiplication. This is what everybody gets excited about when they see the training. So it's very simple. We're going to start on the left side with our feeder link, right? It starts at 3 rewards in the cycle, right? But it also creates one of those instant links. So this is where the stacking effect comes from. That one instant link, when you got that, right? That's going to end up now creating you a connector link, right? That's now going to have 9 rewards plus another 3 instant links. And we extrapolate that out one more time. Now we're at 27 wallet rewards plus the 9 instant links. Then we total up the stacking. In about 120 days, you will have accumulated 39 rewards. So every reward is $1,000. So that's how the stacking works. Now you can stack another 120 days on that, another 100, just keep stacking. You can do it faster, you can do it slower. Whichever way you want to do it, it's up to you. You come in as a direct link instead of 39 rewards. Now we're talking about stacking it to 78 rewards. And again, if you came in as a connector, you're going to be at 117. But the beauty is we're educating you along the way so that when it is, doesn't matter where you came in at, every time after, you're always considered a connector and you're maximizing the rewards. And what happens right now, we're at an 80-20. So 80% of the people that come in don't bring 2 people in. That would break the chain, right? Chain needs 2 people. So that's why we built the protocol. But what will happen, you'll see we're going to go from 80-20 once we start stacking the links to where it'll be a 20-80. Only 20%, that'll be the original ones that came in, that didn't come in with 2, will be the ones that we have to have the protocol in place to make sure that they never break our chain. So that is what you will see happening on a daily basis with what we've built here. Now, very simple. If you haven't got started yet, right? You join the Discord group, and you can do that right now. You can go over to our live rooms that are open. If you need help with that, if you're having trouble getting yourself set up, you're going to register your Bankus app. Remember, I talked to you about a MasterCard? So we have a Bankus app that ties a MasterCard so that you can move your rewards right to your MasterCard so that you can either go to an ATM, pull those funds out, or you can pay all the things that you're currently paying with any other card that you might have. And it only takes seconds. All you need is a email address, create a username. And so think of all the banks that you've ever went to, yet you'll never see a bank that works easier than this, because we are a decentralized community, which means we hold all our own funds. The bank doesn't hold it. All we're using is the application from the bank. When that USDT is sitting on your phone, that USDT is yours. You don't move it to the MasterCard until you're ready to go. The bank never touches that. That's the beauty of our Bankus app. And then your last step will be make your transfer, whether you have fiat currency right now and you don't have USDT, you can use our peer-to-peer system to convert it over from one to the other. But that's pretty much all that you need to do. So from the front to the back, this is what we do on a daily basis, right? Our cycles are 28 days, right? Monday to Friday is where all the rewards happen. But think about when you're stacking and we get to our smart contract, you are going to be in because at that point we'll be doing rewards 7 days a week because it's all automated. So if you're not familiar with a smart contract, it's housed on the blockchain and you pre-program it to the business rules that you want it to have. As a matter of fact, with our Bankus card, they have a smart contract tied to that pays additional commissions to the people to you when you bring people in. So we're doing the same thing here with this smart contract. And what this smart contract will do is all the stuff that I talked about that's happening at 8:59 in the morning, that will all happen automatically. And once that happens on the smart contract, it will disperse all the rewards in seconds instead of taking the time that it takes now because it's a manual process right now. So pretty cool. So whether you're coming in as a feeder, $100. If you're coming in as a uh, in the velocity line directly, it is $1,100. And like I said earlier in the presentation, you can do this one time or you can do multiple if you want to stack faster, but do it one time. You never have to put capital in again. And you're just going to be in the digital. You're basically creating digital rewards every day that go to your phone whenever those rewards hit. But that's it. If you're watching the replay on this, we do a Q&A. We're going to do that right now. After our Q&A, we will end our call for today, but we'll be back tomorrow to do the same thing again so we can get everybody educated on how the community works so that everybody is working concurrently, but it's not something where you have to learn anything other than understanding how the rewards work so that you know when those rewards come, I got to move them to my MasterCard so I can use them. But that's how simple our education process is. So we are done for today.